So Friday was quite the day. A lot of fear in the market as we saw the largest, if not the largest, one of the largest crypto crashes or crypto liquidations that we've ever seen, even bigger than COVID. Roughly $19 billion was completely wiped out from the crypto market. Now, this really affected, altcoins as far as like the price of different cryptocurrencies. We saw um, a lot of different altcoins go basically to zero. Obviously, Bitcoin wasn't, I mean, it did take a pretty decent plunge, but it's Bitcoin. So it's a lot more stable compared to some of these smaller market cap coins. But nonetheless, it was a scary day. Um, and it's hard to say exactly, there's a lot of thoughts around why the market crashed. The headlines and the mainstream media is basically saying it was because of Trump announcing the trade war against China and potentially implementing 100% tariffs come November 1st. Of course, there's a lot of arguments that it was planned and manipulated. No one really knows for sure. But of course, just like anything, but especially in crypto, there's always speculation on why things happen. But the thing is it happened, and we saw a lot of things happen on that day. That was also pretty scary. That maybe a lot of people haven't experienced yet in the past, because maybe this is you're just getting into crypto. But one of the main things we saw was that a lot of crypto exchanges were not allowing you to trade, so you couldn't sell your crypto. And the reason this happens, and this happens every year, is because if it goes insanely high and everyone's buying, but especially if it's crashing and everyone is selling and everyone panics, what's happening is these exchanges get a bunch of sell orders at the same time, or a bunch of people have automatic sell orders, and they're trying to get filled, and the exchanges, the platform basically gets overwhelmed, and in some cases it can actually crash. But in this case, the exchange didn't completely crash, just trades weren't going through, which sucks for a lot of people. But I do want to briefly cover kind of what happened and how it happened. So $19 billion of crypto liquidated. This was on Friday, within a 24-hour period. Again, the headlines was because of Trump announcing the trade war against China. But what actually happened is a lot of people trade with leverage, meaning they borrow money or they trade with money they don't actually have. So this is kind of how leverage works. I just put it together in very layman's term. But when people trade crypto with leverage, they're basically borrowing money to make bigger bets, right? So if someone is long, that means they're betting the price will go up. If they're short, then they're betting the price will go down. But if you borrow money to buy crypto and the price drops too much, the exchange will automatically close your trade to stop further losses. This is called a liquidation. So you lose the money that you put in as collateral. So when it says that $19 billion was liquidated, it means billions of dollars in leverage bets got forced closed because the market crashed. Now, a deeper example of this, again, collateral is the money that you put up as a security when trading with leverage. So let's say you deposit $1,000 worth of USDT or Bitcoin or whatever it may be, and you use it as a 10x leverage. That means you're borrowing $9,000 more from the exchange. So your total trade size is $10,000. But if the market goes down too much, your trade loses all the value of your collateral. So when that happens, the exchange automatically liquidates your position, meaning it sells off your initial collateral to pay back what you borrowed, or to help pay back what you borrowed. And that's basically what happened with everyone, is everyone was trading with leverage and everyone lost their money. That's not something that I personally do. But it's pretty sad because a lot of people, play with money that they can't afford to lose, or they play with other people's money. like when you hear the terms, don't invest more than you're willing to lose. Of course, none of us want to lose any money, duh. But that means like don't gamble money that you're going to need to pay rent, to buy your groceries. Don't dip into your 6 month emergency fund or anything like that. Like if you're gambling money or playing with money, like make sure it's extra money that you have set aside specifically, that it's not going to affect your life if you lose it. That's what that means. Um, but yeah, so it was scary because a lot of people couldn't sell, even if you're trying to sell through, cold wallets. A lot of cold wallets, they just partner with third-party crypto exchanges. So you wouldn't be able to sell on any centralized exchange. The only possibility is you may have been able to sell if you're using a decentralized exchange, something like Uniswap, just depending on what crypto you hold. But it was scary nonetheless. But it's also another reason to not keep your crypto in centralized exchanges. Um, you just never know what's going to happen. If this happens again and the market crashes, in some cases the website will completely shut down, the app won't be available, so you won't even be able to access your crypto. This won't happen with a cold wallet because they're not controlled by a centralized entity. The cold wallets just implement all the technology that the blockchain uses. So what you see in your cold wallet is direct data from the blockchain, and the blockchain doesn't ever shut down in most cases. Speaking of cold wallets, just a couple things. Of course, drop any questions that you have about crypto security, about any cold wallets in the chat, and I will answer them live here in a bit. But I do have 2 cold wallets in the description of this video, along with complete user guides for both wallets. It's the wallets that I recommend the most on this channel, mainly to beginners who just want an easy entry-level wallet. The first one is Tangem, and Tangem has up to 25% off right now using that link in the description. And then you also have Ledger. If you use a link in the description to get any Ledger wallet, you'll get up to $20 worth of free Bitcoin. The Ledger Flex and the Ledger Stacks are the 2 that you'll get the $20 worth of free Bitcoin with. Otherwise, if you get like the Ledger Nano X or the S Plus, it's $10 worth of free Bitcoin. But if you are looking for a new cold wallet, definitely check those wallets out. But yeah, I think as we get into 2026, I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I think we could see a lot of good things. I think we could see, prices go up. Obviously, it can go both ways. I can't tell the future. I don't think anyone can. But what I do know is I've been seeing a lot of posts on Twitter of people getting hacked. Now, getting hacked can mean a lot of things, but really what I'm talking about is people are draining their wallets. They're losing their crypto. And a common, I guess, something that I've been noticing a lot more of is people with old wallets that they've been using for the last, 2 to 4 years, have randomly been getting drained. Now, I know exactly why this happens, and I've talked about it tons of times on this channel. And it's something that you need to be aware of, because if you're not aware of it, it's going to happen to you. Again, it's not a matter of when, or it's not a matter of if it'll happen to you. It's a matter of when it'll happen to you. And it's something called malicious transaction approvals. So, this is really only pertains to certain blockchain networks, but especially like Ethereum, if you're using like BNB, Binance Smart Chain, different blockchains that have smart contracts. A lot of these contracts, when you sign them, they request a spend approval. A spend approval is you telling whatever platform that you're interacting with or whatever contract that you're interacting with, hey, you can take this crypto out of my wallet in exchange for this, whatever it is you're doing, right? Maybe you're swapping one crypto for another. Maybe you're buying an NFT. Maybe you're claiming a crypto airdrop. But a lot of the times you're signing something called the spend approval. And again, this allows the contract to take a certain amount of crypto out of your wallet. Now, a good spend approval will just take whatever amount that you agreed upon out of your wallet and give you whatever you ask for in return. That's how a normal good spend approval works. The problem is some spin approvals are unlimited, meaning once you sign that approval, you have given that specific contract unlimited access to that account in your wallet. So if you sign that smart contract approval in your wallet using your Ethereum account, and you signed an unlimited spin approval, that contract literally has access to that account in your wallet indefinitely. It doesn't matter if it's tomorrow, 10 years down the line, you have approved that contract to have access to the crypto in that account. Now, the only way to eliminate that approval is to revoke the contract approval. Now, you can use something like revoke.cash to do that. That's probably the most popular option. If you connect your wallet to revoke.cash, it'll show you all the approvals you have in your wallet. But this is why I believe we're seeing people's wallets get hacked after 2 to 4 years of being active, because they're signing these spin approvals. And what can happen over time is maybe these platforms that they sign the approval on don't even exist anymore, or they're just not that active. And if these contracts are compromised, or if the platform is compromised, and since you've already signed that spin approval, if the contract is compromised, they can come in and actually take all the crypto out of your wallet without your permission, because you've already given that permission years ago. And this is exactly why I say you don't want to be signing smart contract approvals with your main cold storage wallet, because it doesn't matter if you're using a hot wallet like MetaMask or Trust Wallet or Exodus, or a cold wallet like Tangem, Ledger, Trezor, OneKey, whatever it may be. It doesn't matter, because you as a user are telling the contract that, yes, you can take the crypto out of my wallet. And in many cases, you might not even know it, you're giving that contract unlimited spin approval. So this is why I say, if you're interacting with DeFi platforms like decentralized exchanges, or websites where you might mine crypto or claim crypto airdrops or buy NFTs, make sure you're using a completely different wallet from your dedicated cold wallet. Now, this could either be another cold wallet, or if you don't want to use another cold wallet for that, just use a hot wallet and only keep a small amount of crypto on that hot wallet for whatever it is that you need it for, right? But keep the bulk of your portfolio in your cold storage wallet. And again, I've seen at least 10 posts over the last week of people losing. I think the biggest one I've seen was like $600,000. Why people, a lot of the times, from what I've noticed, none of these have actually been in cold wallets. These have all been hot wallets like Phantom and MetaMask. But again, like I said, this can happen even if you're using a cold wallet. So that's why the most important thing is to use two separate cold wallets. You have one wallet, again, that you use for interacting with DeFi platforms, and one that you just treat as a savings account. This is where you basically just send crypto to. You can send and receive crypto using it, but you don't connect it to any external websites to do anything sketchy. So yeah. But yeah, the reason you also want to get your crypto in a cold wallet before 2026 is because Q4, the last few months of the year, is when hackers and scammers are most active. This is when the most amount of money is transacting on the internet, not just on the blockchain, but just in general, because people are buying Christmas gifts. They're doing a lot of shopping. But yeah, scammers are working overtime, so you should expect more. You should expect more scam calls, more text messages, more targeted emails, phishing attacks, even physical mail. Where I live, it was on the news. People have been getting crypto scams sent to their actual mailbox, like at their house. And yeah, you should only expect to see this more as more retail is entering the space, and as crypto is gaining popularity, because crypto is already an extremely complex, overly complicated space. People who are just getting into it, and even experienced users, they fall for these scams all the time. It's really not hard to fall for them. It's also really easy to avoid them, and the best way you can avoid them is to have a dedicated cold storage wallet where you keep the majority of your crypto. So even if your computer does get some kind of malware, or your phone gets hacked, your computer gets hacked, it's not going to affect your crypto portfolio, because the keys to your crypto are stored offline on that cold wallet device where no one can access them, even the malware on your internet connected devices. So I really urge you to get a cold wallet before 2026. Learn how to use it effectively. I have videos on this channel to do that. And like I said, I have my 2 favorite cold wallets linked in the description of this live stream, with discount codes and free Bitcoin and stuff, and user guides that you can watch to. And I take you through the entire setup process, as well as how to send and receive crypto from exchanges in both of those tutorials. But yeah, like if I were someone right now that had crypto on an exchange or in a hot wallet, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I really wouldn't, because I might wake up and not have any of my crypto the next day, and this happens all the time. It even happened to one guy called me earlier this year. He's a subscriber on the channel. He had a Bitcoin wallet on his computer. I think he was using Electrum, I want to say, and he had the keys to his Bitcoin wallet stored somewhere on his computer, like in a file. And come to find out, he had downloaded some malware. He had no idea, and he woke up one Sunday morning and noticed that he had no more Bitcoin in his wallet. It was a few $1,000s worth of Bitcoin, which is a pretty decent chunk. Doesn't really matter the amount. What matters is that he was using a hot wallet to store that crypto, and if he had just used a cold wallet, that would never have happened. So yeah, a cold wallet in today's world, in 2025, moving into 2026, a cold wallet is still by far the most simple and most secure way to secure your crypto. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to get a special computer. You don't need to use a VPN. You don't have to have like some complicated multi-sig setup. The only thing you need to do is get a cold wallet that works for whatever crypto you hold, send your crypto to it, and make sure you never connect that cold wallet to any external websites, and your crypto is going to be secure in terms of someone like getting it and stealing it from you. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to jump on some of the Q&As here. And I've been quiet for the last couple of days. I got the flu. I haven't had the flu for like, I don't know, a few years. And then I woke up, it started Sunday night, and I woke up Monday morning and I was, not well, extremely dizzy, nauseous, couldn't hold anything down. So today's the first day where I feel somewhat normal, and I thought I'd jump on and do a live stream and kind of check out, see how everyone's doing. Mike Jones. That reminds me of that one song from back in the day. Who? Mike Jones. What's up, Scrilla? When things start to skyrocket, I plan on swapping everything to USDC on Tangem. That's definitely an option, Mike. However, depending on how much you're trying to swap, there might be a limit if you're swapping on Tangem, because a lot of these centralized exchanges will have limits. Some of these limits I've seen as low as like $7,000. Personally, what I like to do is, like when I'm selling my crypto or even swapping it, I just send it to my preferred exchange and swap there, because I know I have way higher limits on the exchange. But you're gonna have to play it by ear. You're gonna have to make sure your exchange is up and running. Another option would be to send it to a hot wallet and use a decentralized exchange to swap. But it really just depends on what crypto you're swapping for USDC and how much. There's just a lot of variables. I don't think it's a terrible idea, but it's not the only option. Hackvisor says, what's up? What up, Hackvisor? Shout out to the big shrimp. 1 million sats says, we will have a new all-time high in the next 30 days. Anything is possible, is what I say. What's up, Peter? Renan or Renan. Sorry if I said your name wrong. First like, I appreciate it. JJ Boy says, "Do you think it's wise to change from Ledger Nano S Plus to Tangem?" Not necessarily. If you're using your Ledger Nano S without any issues, and you enjoy using it and it works for all your crypto, I wouldn't see a reason to change. Trading future in crypto is a bad idea, says 1 million sats. Felix says, I purchased the Tangem Cold Wallet with your link and I'm having technical difficulties. I haven't been able to get it resolved. There's a way you can help me. You can ask any questions here in the live stream. I don't offer consultations. If that's what you're asking, I don't do any one-on-ones or anything like that. So drop your questions in the chat. Regis says, hi from Brazil. Shout out to Brazil. TC says, TC thinks Bitcoin's going to 75K in the bear market. But in my opinion, we'll hit 150 to 180 before that and sharply fall to 90K, then 75. Fun times ahead. Yeah, I don't know. Bitcoin is just a whole different beast. Like most people who hold Bitcoin a day, well, maybe I shouldn't say most, but a lot of people on the channel who hold Bitcoin, they're thinking extremely long term. So they don't really care, if it dips to 75K. At least I don't think so, because they're holding it for the next 5-10 years, whatever. They're holding it on for their investment. They're investing for their kids. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the crypto market evolves, because just like NFTs in 2021, if anyone was around for that bull market where like you could buy any NFT and basically make money. And then you look at all those NFTs now and they're completely worthless. 99% of the cryptocurrencies on the market today, and there's over 50 million different cryptocurrency tokens on the market today, maybe even more. Those are all going to be zero. 99% of the market is complete vaporware. It's trash. It's all trash. Now, I'm not talking about like, the top 10 or even the top 100 cryptocurrencies in the world, although some of those won't be around either. But in general, 99% of the cryptocurrencies on the market today will not be around in the next, I don't know, probably 4 years or less. Some of these meme coins at launch have a half-life or a total like shelf life of like a week, and that's because they're all launched by the same scammers. Prices are manipulated by bots, and it's fake transaction volume. It's really, the entire crypto market is just fake. Most of the stuff that people are involved in is just fake stuff. Peter says he doesn't have crypto at all, but the topic's very interesting. Well, I will say anyone who's just thinking about getting into crypto, even in 2026, you're still very early. And the reason I know that and why I say that is because there has been very minimal innovation in the crypto space. Also because crypto is still extremely confusing for the average person. That's why I say you're still extremely early. Just like when the internet launched, a lot of people thought the internet would never take off, let alone would they ever think about like selling products on the internet or doing anything like that. And then fast forward, 20 years and basically everyone works online and we all have the internet in our pocket and we don't even think about it. So until crypto reaches that level of adoption where we just use it, we probably won't even call it crypto anymore. We won't really, we won't think about it. It will just be a part of our lives until we reach like some sort of adoption like that. I still think it's extremely early in crypto and it's not too late to get in. Sure, you didn't get Bitcoin when it was $13 or, ETH or whatever it was, Dogecoin or something like that. But that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be more opportunities, because again, we have not seen any innovation in crypto. It's been, it's basically all vaporware. The crypto projects that come out, their only goal is how much value can I extract from the users, from retail. That's really their only goal. It's not how can we make crypto more usable and accessible for people, and how does this better the world or make people's lives easier. It's how much money can we make. That's that's where most of these crypto projects are. 1 million sats says don't trust sexes. Actually, a funny story on another note. I almost bought Bitcoin in 2011. I was a teenager, but not for the right reason. So I'm sure a lot of you know what Silk Road is. Well, back when I was a teenager, I was trying to buy, we'll just call it broccoli, the green plant, right? I was probably 16 or 17. And somehow I found out about Silk Road. So I downloaded the Tor browser, I got on a Silk Road, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of illegal stuff on here. I was only after, the broccoli. And I was ready to buy it. And I was like, okay, how do I buy this? And it said you needed Bitcoin. And I was like, Bitcoin? What is that? And once I saw that you needed Bitcoin and I couldn't just enter my debit card information, I pretty much stopped right there and gave up. So that was like a huge fail on my end. I was too focused on the wrong thing. I was too focused on being a teenager and getting illegal substances than I was on, generational wealth. Imagine if I had bought like just 20 Bitcoin back in 2011 and I knew what I was buying. That would have been life-changing. CB says, what do you think about the real bull run? Is it still coming? I mean, you could argue we're in the bull run right now just because we saw this liquidation doesn't mean that it's over. I mean, Bitcoin just hit an all-time high. Bitcoin is still over $100,000. And from what I've seen, I've only been in, this will be like my second major bull run. My first one was around 2021. But from what I've seen, everything usually follows Bitcoin. So Bitcoin will have its time. And then you have like the big altcoins. And then, you have all like the meme coins follow. I don't know how that will play out this time because there are just so many more tokens on the market. Like I said, there's over 50 million tokens. But nonetheless, I have my bags packed. I have my conviction plays that I've been buying in over the last year and a half, 2 years, and that's what I'm sticking with. And I do expect those to go up, but that's a different story. Kreml says, thanks a million for explaining what happened so thoroughly. I'm learning so much and sharing with my family. Awesome to hear. Nicholas says, I ordered my Tangem thanks to you. I use your promo code. Awesome. Glad you saved some money, Nicholas. Anyone else who's looking for the most secure and user-friendly cold wallet on the market, I have a link in the description that gets you up to 25% off your order and free shipping. That's for the Tangem wallet. So you get 25% off the Tangem Ring, which is the world's first crypto cold wallet wearable. And then select designs are 15% off. And then everything else is going to be 10% off using that link. And then I also have a link to the Ledger Flex, which I have 3 of. Look at this. Because it's magnetic, it's got a spoon stuck to my wallets. But I also have a link to the Ledger Flex where you get $20 worth of free Bitcoin if you use that link in the description. And I do have user guides for both those wallets if anyone is just getting into crypto or just getting into cold wallets and wants to learn how to set up a cold wallet and transfer their crypto to it. Go check out those links. Renan says, is it safe to swap crypto directly in the Tangem app, or is it better to send the crypto to a DEX than swap and send back to Tangem? So it's completely fine to swap your crypto directly in the Tangem app. There's no like danger in doing that. As far as swapping on a DEX, you don't send crypto to a DEX. DEXs aren't like, they're not like centralized exchanges. When you interact with the DEX, you do it all from your crypto wallet. So you would connect your wallet to the DEX. You would initiate the swap from your wallet. It does a swap, takes the crypto from your wallet, and then you get the other crypto in return. Sometimes you have no choice but to use a decentralized exchange. Like if you're, for example, if you're trying to get in on, let's just say a meme coin, because this is the most common type of token where this happens. Let's say you want to be early to a meme coin, right? The only way that you're actually early to a meme coin, or I should call it a meme token, is if you buy it on a decentralized exchange. Because by time meme tokens hit the centralized exchanges, it's already way up there. If you want to be truly early to new tokens, you would have to buy them on a decentralized exchange. But again, remember, don't use your main cold wallet to do this. If you're interacting with decentralized exchanges, transfer whatever amount of crypto you're using for that transaction to a hot wallet or to a completely separate cold wallet, and do it in that wallet, because you don't want to sign a smart contract approval on a third-party website using your main cold storage wallet. Can you set a sell and buy order from a cold wallet? No, you can't. Does Kraken have a spend approval? No, like Kraken and crypto exchanges are completely separate from your cold wallet. When you approve a transaction on your crypto exchange account, it doesn't have anything to do with your cold wallet. You're not approving it from your wallet, you're approving it from the exchange. Griff says, can these malicious transactions be found on legit sites? So that's the thing with transaction approvals. If you sign a transaction approval with your wallet, even if it's a legit website, let's say it's Uniswap, if that website or if that contract is ever compromised, even in the future, then your wallet is at risk. It doesn't matter if it's secure today, because it doesn't mean it's secure tomorrow. So it doesn't matter if you're using a reputable website, because if that website is ever compromised for whatever reason, your wallet will be instantly at risk. Also, I've never heard of FLR portal. It would not be something that I personally trust to use with my cold wallet, at least. CB says, how about if I just send my crypto from my Tangent to an exchange? Any danger? No, there's no danger in sending crypto between like wallets. That's like you're not signing a spend approval with that. You're simply sending crypto from one address to another. So you can send crypto from your exchange to your cold wallet and vice versa from your cold wallet to the exchange without, any issues of signing a bad spend approval, as long as you're doing everything directly from your cold wallet or directly from the exchange. Obviously, when you're sending crypto, you want to make sure you're sending it on the right network and you're sending it to the right address. Those are the two biggest things. But in terms of like signing a bad approval or a malicious smart contract, that's not going to happen. Cody says, do you recommend staking Ethereum and Solana on Coinbase? No, because I don't recommend using Coinbase at all. It's the worst crypto exchange in the world, in my experience. Not an exchange I'll ever recommend. 2, I don't keep crypto on any exchanges, so I wouldn't be staking any crypto on an exchange because I don't have crypto on an exchange. If you want to stake your crypto, get a cold wallet that supports staking those coins and stake there. Ledger supports staking for Ethereum and Solana. You could stake directly from your Ledger wallet. And I probably just answered Kish's question as well. Can you get staking rewards even if your crypto is on a cold storage wallet? You can stake your crypto when it's secured by a cold wallet. And remember everyone, crypto is not stored on cold wallets. It's not stored on hot wallets. Crypto is not stored on crypto exchanges. Crypto only exists in one place, the blockchain. Crypto does not exist outside the blockchain. So when people say, and when I say, get your crypto into a cold wallet, that's not in the literal sense, because crypto only exists on the blockchain. These wallets, hot wallets and cold wallets, they hold the keys that are used to access and manage your crypto on the blockchain. Crypto exchanges, they own the keys that are used to control your crypto. And that's why another reason you don't want to keep your crypto on an exchange is because you don't actually own that crypto and you don't actually control it. The exchange does. That's why they can freeze your funds. That's why they can lock your accounts. And they don't even have really that great of security. Like like a lot of people think they do. A lot of crypto exchanges store customer funds in hot wallets. Um, and even, if they ever go bankrupt or they get hacked or something, even if they have insurance, the likelihood that you get all of your crypto back or that you get it back at its full value is pretty unlikely, at least if we look at, past bankruptcies. Also, exchanges are only insured up to a certain amount. So if they're hacked for more than they're insured, then the customers take that hit. You're not going to get all your crypto back. So you're trusting some other company to secure your crypto for you, which is not something I would personally ever feel comfortable doing, especially in the crypto space and how early we are. That's why I say get it into a cold wallet, meaning transfer your crypto to an address that you control and that is secured offline on a cold wallet device. That's what I mean when I say get your crypto into a cold wallet. Davor says, I swap tokens through Ledger Live. Could my wallet be compromised in the future? Um, no, because when you do swaps through cold wallets, most of them are using centralized exchanges. So you're not actually signing a spend approval. Usually you're sending the crypto to the third party exchange. They do the swap for you on their end, and then they send you the crypto back. Alberto says, how do you track your average price, gains, and losses on the cold wallet? Well, everything is tracked on the blockchain. So all the data to do that lives on the blockchain since that's where crypto lives. So in order to track all your profit and losses and things like that, you have to use a portfolio tracker, something like coinledger.io. And basically you need to enter, you need to connect the exchange where you bought the crypto. And then you also need to enter the cold wallet address of where your crypto currently lives. That way it can get all that information for you. And once you've entered all that information, it tells you all that stuff that you need to know automatically. Kreml says, I have Kraken and Tangem. Do they have the approvals? Spend approvals are not specific to any wallet or anything like that. Spend approvals are how certain blockchain networks function. On Ethereum, there are spend approvals. When you interact with a platform on Ethereum and you're spending your crypto, you're signing some kind of, you're definitely signing a smart contract, but you're more than likely signing a spend approval. It doesn't have anything to do with the wallet you're using or the exchange you're using. It has everything to do with the network you're using. It doesn't matter what you're using, what wallet you're using, you could still sign a malicious spend approval and lose all of your crypto. So again, keep your cold wallet, your main cold wallet completely separate from your transaction wallet. Regis says, does this problem of signing a bad contract occur on the Bitcoin network as well? I get what you're saying. So it's not as common because Bitcoin doesn't really use smart contracts, but I will say it's not impossible to end up on a website where you accidentally allow access to your wallet. It's just less common because most people who own Bitcoin are not connecting it to random websites, whereas people who are in the Ethereum ecosystem are getting on different platforms and doing weird things. So not as common on Bitcoin, but not impossible. Debbie says, do you have a video on setting up 2FA on Coinbase? I don't, Debbie. That's a pretty straightforward process. If you just Google how to set up 2FA on Coinbase, there's going to be a step-by-step breakdown on how to do that. But it's pretty straightforward. You probably just go to settings, you tap enable 2FA, and then you just follow the steps on screen. E-Man says, is it possible to clear my Tangent cards because I made a mistake? It is possible to reset your cards, but just depends how you have it set up. And if you have crypto on the cards, I would caution you when doing that. You just go into settings, then you tap manage device, and then you tap factory reset, and you would scan each card to factory reset each card. But just know if you have crypto on your Tangent wallet and it's set up as a seedless wallet, you would lose all your crypto. So you need to transfer your crypto off the wallet first. Swift says, how can you hold cash on a cold wallet, not in crypto? You can't hold cash on a cold wallet because cold wallets don't hold anything. Cold wallets are just signing devices. The only thing cold wallets hold are the keys used to access your crypto. They don't hold crypto, they don't hold cash, they don't hold any assets. Now, if you're looking to basically secure your cash like crypto, the one way you could do that is buy a stable coin. So stable coins are cryptocurrencies that are pegged to the price of the US dollar or to assets like USDT, pegged to the price of the US dollar. So you could buy USDT and you could secure that using a cold wallet. That would be really your only option. Aiden says, so swapping from your cold wallet platform like Tangent, you will be safe. If you're swapping natively in your cold wallet app, that's safe. SG says, does Ledger have the third-party list in its PC platform? I'm not sure what you mean, SG. If you could clarify your question, please. TC says, thanks for all your hard work. I have 7 Tangent wallets, almost caught up to me, and 2 Ledger wallets. Also have the oddball EliPal wallet, but not as fun. Yeah, EliPal is not a wallet I'm recommending anymore, but Tangent and Ledger are solid. Leonidas says, can you explain to me the best way to take profit for XRP when using Tangent Wallet? You have a few different options. You can, and you should really just type it on YouTube, how to take crypto profit, and go watch my video. I break down all the strategies to take crypto profit in that video for really any cryptocurrency, but I'll go over it really quickly. You have a few options when you want to take profit for your crypto. One, you can send that crypto from your cold wallet to your preferred exchange, sell it there for cash, and then send that cash to your bank account if you're trying to turn it back into fiat. The second option would be to sell it directly from your cold wallet using the sell button. You'll likely have higher fees and lower limits, so you might not be able to sell as much, but it'll make it so you don't have to transfer your crypto to that exchange if you want to skip that step for some reason. Third, you could also swap your XRP or whatever cryptocurrency to a stable coin if you want to keep your money in the market. Then you would swap it to a stable coin like USDT, and then you can just hold that USDT in your wallet and still have it liquid, ready to go in case there's something else that happens and you want to take advantage of having liquidity available to you. But again, if you go watch that video, how to take crypto profit from my channel, I get into the details of all that stuff. Ryan says, Scrilla, do you use wallet scrutiny website to find out which crypto wallet is more secure? I've definitely taken a look at wallet scrutiny, but there's no real rhyme or reason or to who is actually doing those tests. Just kind of random people with the basic knowledge to do these tests. So I don't take it. I take it with a grain of salt. I don't use it as the foundation for locating secure wallets or anything like that. My research it spans across the entire internet, mainly my own experience with these wallets, and then my experience of the last 5 years using cold wallets, and then I look at all the information that these companies put out, because they do put out a lot of information. I talk to their security teams. Wallet scrutiny, again, it's cool to look at, but it's not my go-to. Ryan says, Ledger app did not have the ability to show Solana before, so I added my Ledger account to Phantom. Now the app can display Solana. Should I disconnect the Ledger within Phantom? The Ledger Live app definitely shows you Solana, because I have Solana on my Ledger wallet and it does show it. So I'm not sure why you wouldn't be able to see it. But simply connecting your wallet to something like Phantom or MetaMask isn't a risk. It's the same as connecting it to Ledger Live. Instead of Ledger Live, you're using Phantom or MetaMask. That's not the same as signing a contract approval. All you're doing is using like Phantom as a way to view the data of your wallet. It's not actually giving it any access to your wallet. So that alone isn't a risk. But if you are signing transaction approvals from your Ledger wallet using Phantom, then that would be the risk. Ryan said he finally said it, 99% of crypto is trash. I've been saying that since 2021. Not just about crypto, but about NFTs, just about digital assets in general. Because it's like the same thing with the crypto.com bubble. Like everyone was super bullish on the internet. There's all these like random, it's literally the same thing. Go look at the crypto.com bubble, or the .com bubble. Basically, everyone was super bullish on the internet. And so these websites, they were literally just website domains. They were worth like millions of dollars, but they were just website domains. They didn't actually do anything. There wasn't a product. They didn't offer any kind of value, yet they have these $1 million evaluations. That's exactly what crypto is. It's just a bunch of speculation. It's a bunch of people gambling, except it's even worse with crypto because anyone can launch a token, and you can create fake transaction volume and things like that. So yeah, 99% of crypto is absolute vaporware trash. I'll say it over and over again. I'll stand by that. Out of the 50 million plus tokens you see on the market today, they're not going to be around probably by the end of next year or even sooner. Peter says, who created Bitcoin? Ask Google, Peter. You can dive down that rabbit hole on your own. Daniel says, what coin can make you some money? Got to do your own research, Daniel. No one's going to tell you what coin can make you money. And if they do tell you, they probably have no idea what they're talking about because no one really knows. It's really all a gamble. Your safest bet is probably Bitcoin because that's what has the most support. But yeah, that's about all I'll say. TC says, your reviews have got me hooked on Tangem and have given a couple gifts as to family members. Awesome. Happy to hear that. Swift says, how do you explain when the crash happened? A lot of people limit orders didn't go through to buy lowest. What's the best exchange to prevent this? I don't think any exchange would have really prevented this. I think because of the significance of the crash and the amount of sell orders that happened, it was just impossible for some people to go through. I don't think there is a way to prevent this on a centralized exchange. Callie Bayer says, I have a Tangem cold wallet. Anytime I'm doing a transaction, shows a default on the public address. What do you think that could be? I have no idea what you're talking about. If you're talking about Bitcoin and it's showing you, it says default address, and then there's the legacy address. The default address is SegWit, which is the more recent Bitcoin version, or the more recent address for Bitcoin. It's supposed to be a little more efficient than the old legacy option. So you would just choose whichever one you prefer. I choose the default one. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, but it's just two different types of Bitcoin addresses: SegWit versus legacy. Amin says Ledger Flex is a good. Yeah, Ledger Flex is, in my opinion, one of the best wallets on the market. Supports plenty of different cryptocurrencies. You can use it on both your computer and mobile devices. If you use it on your computer, you just connect it with USB-C, which is included. Or if you're using it on your phone, you can connect it with Bluetooth. But it's also one of the most secure wallets on the market. But by far, one of my favorite cold wallets. I've got 3 of them. And again, link to that is in the description. You get $20 worth of free Bitcoin if you buy it with that link. And there is a complete user guide, how to set it up and how to transfer crypto to and from the Ledger Flex if you're interested in that. And there's also a discount code for the Tangent wallet and a user guide in the description as well. Tangent, again, this is what thousands of people on the channel have gone with. If you're just getting into cold wallets, and you're, maybe hesitant to start using a cold wallet, this is the wallet that you want, assuming, you have a phone that has NFC support and it works with the crypto you hold, which Tangent has some of the best coin support on the market. But the only thing you need to use your Tangent wallet is your iOS or Android phone, and then the wallet itself. And it's also one of the most discreet. This is it right here. So just like any wallet, the keys to your crypto are stored on the secure element chip inside this card. And then you just hold it up to your phone. Just hold it up to your phone. And it has a little NFC thing that will pop up. As simple as that. But yeah, one of the best wallets on the market. Links to both those wallets are in the description. Sunseeker says, I want to buy a cold wallet. Need your advice, Tangent or Ledger Nano? It really depends. So again, you should go watch my past video. It's how to choose the best cold wallet for 2026. It's my most recent video on my channel. And in that video, I break down exactly how to choose the best cold wallet for you, because it really just depends. And then I provide 3 recommendations in that video. One of which is Tangent, the other one is a Ledger Flex, and then the Trezor Safe 3. But the 2 deal breakers when choosing a cold wallet that you should check before anything: number 1, does the wallet support the cryptocurrencies you want to secure with it? If it doesn't, then that's not the wallet for you. You could check this on the wallet's website. And then number 2, does it work with the devices that you want to use your wallet with? So like the Ledger, if you get the Ledger Nano X, it'll work with both your phone and your computer. However, if you get the Ledger Nano S Plus, it's only going to work really just with your computers, because it doesn't have Bluetooth. That said, if you're going for a mobile-only wallet, I would probably go with Tangent. It is the most user-friendly wallet on the market. This is what most people end up getting, again, when they're just getting into cold wallets. But I have the user guide and link to that wallet in the description. Jay Perez says, is it possible for someone who already has Bitcoin in Coinbase to use this and transfer their crypto to it? Jay Perez, absolutely. Everyone starts where you start. We all have to use crypto exchanges to get our crypto initially, but crypto exchanges are really only for buying and selling your crypto. It's an exchange. You use it to trade. It's not a place where your crypto stays. The reason being is crypto exchanges, that money that you see on your screen, that you see in your portfolio, that crypto, that Bitcoin, Perez, is not your Bitcoin. That's literally not yours. You don't control it, and you don't actually own the keys that own that Bitcoin on the blockchain. Coinbase owns that Bitcoin. So they can actually freeze your Bitcoin. They can lock you out of your account. Go look on Reddit and just type in Coinbase account froze. You'll see thousands of threads of people experiencing this. This happened to my friend. He had his Coinbase account frozen, locked for over a year due to security concerns. So he wasn't able to access his crypto portfolio for a year until they got it all figured out. If you put your crypto, if you transfer it to a wallet that's secured and controlled by you, like Tangent, like any of these cold wallets, then you will be in full control of your crypto. You will actually own it. So those numbers you see on screen, that's your crypto. You're in full control of it because you own the keys that control it. Crypto exchanges are not a place to keep your crypto. If you have your crypto on an exchange in 2026, you're doing it wrong. Before you even buy your first crypto, I recommend knowing what a cold wallet is for starters, and actually like owning a cold wallet and setting it up before you ever even buy crypto. Because if you don't know how to secure it, why would you buy it? That'd be like, I don't even know any equivalent to that. That'd be like, I don't know, buying a Lamborghini and not having a garage to store it in, and you live in, somewhere that has terrible weather. Like you live in Florida and you get hit by hurricanes constantly. That'd be like buying a Lamborghini today, knowing a hurricane's hitting tomorrow, not having a safe place to keep it, and just, well, I hope it's safe. That's kind of what it's like to buy crypto on an exchange and keep it there. It's just irresponsible, in my opinion, and in my experience. I've also had my funds frozen on multiple crypto exchanges, Coinbase being the worst. This won't happen on your cold wallet. But not only that, cold wallets are going to be, again, they're the most secure solution for keeping your crypto in 2025 and beyond. Because really the only thing you need to do to secure your crypto is to secure the keys that control your crypto. You can't do that with a crypto exchange because, again, you don't own those keys. The exchange does. So they secure your crypto for you, secure your crypto. A hot wallet like MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Electrum, whatever it may be, those allow you to own the keys to your crypto, but they're stored in the software on your internet connected device, which is vulnerable to malware, hacks, any phishing scams you might click on, any links that you might accidentally click on that could download malware onto your device. Those types of wallets are all susceptible to those things and can drain your crypto. Cold wallets like Tangem, like the Ledger Flex, the keys to your crypto are actually held offline on this device. But further and more importantly, it's held in what's called a secure element chip. This is the same kind of chip that's used in billions of bank cards and electronic passports around the world. And this chip has one job, and that is to keep secrets safe. So when it comes to cold wallets, that secret is your seed phrase or the key to your crypto. So those chips are immune to both remote, like online attacks, as well as physical attacks. So if someone got a hold of your wallet physically, they still wouldn't be able to access the keys to your crypto, meaning they can't access your crypto. So yes, if you have your crypto on an exchange right now, you need a cold wallet before the end of the year. Like you should have it before the end of the month. If you're looking for an easy cold wallet to use, the two in the description of this live stream are what I recommend because of how easy they are to use. Obviously, double check the two deal breakers: coin support and device compatibility. Again, I think Tangem is the most user-friendly. Tangem is the card-based one. This is Tangem. I think this is the most user-friendly one. But if you are a little more tech savvy and would prefer to use your wallet with your computer, then the Ledger Flex. Also, I have some really exciting news coming up, and you're only going to know about it if you're watching this right now, because I'm not going to reveal this anywhere else right now. But there are some new cold wallets coming to the market from some popular brands. I can't tell you any more than that because it is under embargo, but you will be the first to know. If you're watching this live stream, make sure you're subscribed, notifications turned on, which I never say that. But if you want to know once these wallets come out, you will be the first to know if you're subscribed to this channel. But one I can tell you about because it's been out for a while and I finally got mine, which I know a lot of you have been waiting for, the Rider 1. This is one of the newest cold wallets on the market, and it's one that I'm most excited for. It's like a hybrid between Tangem and like a Ledger. And I got two of them, so maybe we'll have to do some giveaways in the future. But be on the lookout for my review of that wallet. And I wish I could show you the other wallet that I have already that is not released to the public, but I can't show you until a little later. So just a heads up. TC says, so an old contract cannot be removed. Yes, you can revoke any contract approval. Doesn't matter how old it is. Go to revoke.cash, connect your wallet. It'll show you all the approvals your wallet has. And then you click the revoke button, sign the revoke approval, and you're good to go. Charles said he got a Ledger Flex using my link, and he says that he's loving it. I'm glad to hear that, Charles. Yeah, again, Ledger Flex. This is this right here. One of my favorite things about the Flex is, so a lot of people don't realize, like, let me be very clear with you. Let me turn this on. This is an e-ink screen. So it's the same kind of screen that's used on like the Kindles, the ebooks. Where people get upset when they buy a wallet like this is they expect it to be like your iPhone. Cold wallets are not phones. They're not media devices. This isn't meant to watch YouTube on. This isn't meant to scroll Twitter on or Reddit. Cold wallets are literally just signing devices. These are meant to securely sign crypto transactions. So when you're typing in, when you're all trying to type super fast on it, expecting it to be as responsive as your iPhone, don't. It's not an iPhone. This is a security device. That's probably the biggest complaint I get with a lot of these touchscreen wallets is, oh, it's not very responsive. Yeah, no crap. It's not a mini computer. This literally has a secure element chip in it, like the same chip using your debit card that runs the entire thing. Whereas your iPhone, it has an entire computer inside of it. Not the same thing. Not the same thing. Security device, media device, right? Two different things. Leonidas says, what DEX do you recommend? It really depends on what you're trying to do. I use Pond 0x, which is a DEX that you can swap crypto on Ethereum and Solana with that DEX and also earn rewards. That's what I like to use. TC says, what if I bought some coin from Tangent Wallet using the Ethereum network? No, not at risk. Again, malicious smart contracts happen when you connect your wallet to external websites and sign transactions on those websites using your wallet. If you're using your wallet's native app, you're fine. George says, why no Coinbase? What did they do wrong? George, you can go watch my 2 Coinbase videos on my channel and just read the room and read through the comments. They are the most sensitive crypto exchange in the world, and they are probably the number 1 exchange for freezing funds and locking your account. It's because Coinbase is controlled all by bots. In fact, I think it was like 60 or 70% of the exchange's code is written by AI. But yeah, it's all controlled by bots, and it's super sensitive. So any little thing that you do, maybe you're using a VPN, maybe you're logging in from a different device, that could trigger their system to freeze your funds and lock your account. And then you go to their customer support and it sucks. They don't have any. Now, this is the case with most exchanges. Just in my experience, Coinbase has been the most sensitive. This can happen on any exchange. Like, this is why I don't keep my crypto on any crypto exchange. Oh, it's getting hot in here. Moji said, is it possible for anyone that uses a 12-word seed phrase cracked by malware or software? There's no algorithm or malware that can guess a 12 or 24-word seed phrase. The only possibility for that to ever happen would have to be quantum computing. And experts say, I mean, I've heard some experts have estimated that's, within 10 years, while others have estimated that's more than 40 years away, if ever. but there's no malware that can guess a 12-word seed phrase. Now, there is malware that can access your device where your seed phrase is stored and steal your seed phrase if you're using a hot wallet like MetaMask or Trust Wallet or any wallet or any app-based wallet. That's the kind of malware that you need to stay away from. And the way you stay away from that is using a cold wallet. So, trying to make this full screen. Guess that's as full as we get here. Let's see. Georgie says, can you stake from cold wallets? Yes, you can stake from cold wallets. You really just need to check which cold wallet or which crypto you want to stake, and then find the cold wallet that supports that cryptocurrency. Silverboy says, where is my question? I'm not sure. You skipped it. I could try to go back and find it. Let's see. I believe it's this one. Can we use Hyperliquid or Aster using Tangem? Are you talking, does it support those cryptocurrencies, or do you mean like using the platform? I would need a little more clarification. Giuliano says, bought a Tangem 10 minutes ago with your code. It's Destiny. You're live now. My hot wallet wasn't showing my second biggest positions, but it was a mistake, and now it's okay. Almost had a heart attack. For sure. I'm glad that you're getting your crypto over to secured by a cold wallet. You're doing things right, and you're setting yourself up for success in 2026. G1 says, keep doing what you're doing. Your videos help me understand so much more. My Tangem cards are arriving tomorrow. Here's to a prosperous and safe future. Absolutely. Thank you for saying that. JB says, Scrilla, where do you go for crypto tax help? So I've been doing my own crypto taxes for the last 5 years using, I use coinledger.io. So if you're using a cold wallet, especially, you're going to need to use a crypto tax software. And what this software does is it scrapes the blockchain for all of your crypto transactions, because all of your crypto transactions are recorded on the blockchain. And then it will put it all into the tool. And then, you'll have to, go through some things. It might pop up some warnings and discrepancies that you need to figure out. And once you do that, it'll generate the tax documents that you would just submit with your normal taxes, like your W-2 or whatever, however you earn your money. Now, if you want someone to do it for you, just also go to coinledger.io, and you can hire an expert from there to do it for you using their software. AG Blade says, so connecting my cold wallet to a software wallet isn't bad. Just signing a contract with that wallet is. That's correct. Kish, I've already answered this question a few times. You can stake crypto on a cold wallet. Finney says, what's the best way to offload your crypto to your bank account without causing red flags? For example, large amounts at a time. The best way is to ensure that your limits are high on the exchange. The way you do this is going through their verification processes. And you can check your limits in the settings. For example, on one of my crypto exchange accounts, I have a limit of like $10 million a day, which I don't believe I will ever need. If I do, I'll probably disappear off the face of the earth. But yeah, just make sure that your limits are high. And once you go through all their verification steps, you shouldn't really have any issues after that. How safe is peer-to-peer for Bitcoin? It really depends. It really depends. There are certain platforms for doing peer-to-peer transactions, but because not a lot of people do it, there's usually not a lot of money to for these transactions, so they're maybe good for smaller transactions. Um, but you definitely wouldn't want to just like trust someone, like some random person that you met in the DMs or something. Definitely a terrible way to go about it. But if you could find a dedicated P2P platform that has been around for a while, it is an option. But just know you're probably going to be limited to how much you can buy and sell. Uh, Davor says, if I do a factory reset on my cold wallet, do I get a new seed phrase? You do if you go through the setup process again and choose create a new seed phrase, then yes. Love your content. Thank you very much. Peter says 9 cold wallets. I've got over 30 cold wallets personally. Georgie says, do you have a wallet for straight up starting out? Yeah, Georgie, the wallet you want, ask anyone on the channel, the wallet you want if you're just starting out is the Tangent wallet. Assuming you have an iOS or an iOS or Android mobile device, this is the most user-friendly wallet on the market. The only thing you need to use it is the cards, a phone, and the Tangent app, which you download for free on the App Store. I have the user guide to this wallet in the description of this video, along with a discount link. It'll get you up to, depending on which version you get, 10 to 25% off your order. But this is a wallet I recommend to anyone who's just getting their first cold wallet. Tangent is the one I recommend. Let me check here. Blue Bus Driver says, what does profit and XRP look like? Not sure what you mean, Blue Bus Driver. Todd says, what is the process for transferring Axler to your Tangent wallet? None of the networks provided by Tangent work on Coinbase. Then that means you can't, whatever Axler you currently hold on Coinbase is not supported on Tangent. Therefore, you can't transfer that specific version to your Tangent wallet. So what you could do is, you'd have to basically swap it to the version that is supported by Tangent. So you'd probably have to, sell your Axler maybe for like a stable coin, transfer that to, you could transfer it to Tangent maybe, and then do the swap on Tangent to Axler, and that way you get the one that's supported, or do it on another exchange. It just depends. Swift says, if you don't trust exchanges, then how do you set buy and sell orders? I don't. I don't. I buy and sell manually myself. That's not always guaranteed, just like we saw on Friday. Just because you set a buy and sell order doesn't mean it's going to go through. I think people rely too much on that. I don't think it's worth holding your crypto on an exchange just so you can have a buy and sell order. Just not, to me, that's not something I'd feel comfortable doing. Linda says, if you get a new phone number versus the old one you used on an exchange, should one get 2FA prior to going to that exchange, even though they have you do 2FA? Linda, I'm not quite sure your question. If your 2FA is your phone number, then you would want to obviously either change your 2FA method or disable the 2FA until you got your new phone number. Because if your 2FA is connected to your old phone number and then you don't have that phone number, that would be a huge issue. Yeah. So you'd want to either disable it or preferably change it to something like a 2FA app, like even Google Authenticator, and make sure you have access to that on your new phone. Griff says, I want to earn passive income from XRT on my Tangent wallet. What would you suggest? I mean, I don't suggest anything I don't know of any way to earn passive income by just holding XRP on your Tangent wallet. I guess if the price of XRP goes up and you sell it, that would be passive income. Um, I have Tangent Wallet too, and it's simple and easy. Love it. Awesome to hear. Felipe says, "Hey Scrilla, is it possible to be infected with a malicious contract if the only transaction I made in my wallet are transactions send or receive?" No, if you're just sending and receiving crypto, you're good. That's not a spend approval. You're sending crypto, not spending. Sand says, when is it possible to have random addresses on Tangem? What you're talking about is multiple addresses, meaning the ability to generate multiple receiving addresses on the same network. I don't have a date for you. The moment I know, you will know. Bobo says, what do you think about generating a paper wallet by shuffling a deck of cards, then stringing the value of each card to get 70 digits? Convert it from a decimal private key to an address. It's not going to work. Also, how are you going to convert it from the key to the seed phrase? You'd have to use some kind of software to do that. Your best bet, the best option, is to just either probably have your cold wallet generate it. Cold wallets use a TRNG, or a true random number generator, and it's always going to be more random than anything a human can generate. Just by design, we're not like super random creatures. So software like TRNGs, the software that generates the seed phrases and the 156 or 128 and 256 bit keys, are going to be way more random than any human could generate themselves. Strawman says, should we update Ledger Flex to the latest OS version? I would. I don't know why you wouldn't. Pearls of Wisdom says, been power watching your videos. Thank you. Getting better understanding. Working on getting my crypto off exchange. I still have access. How to watch your live first. Yeah, get your crypto off exchanges as soon as possible, but sounds like you're on the right track. So good for you. Lemon Lucas says, can you buy crypto on a cold wallet? Yes, you can. You can buy it directly on your cold wallet. Basically, every cold wallet offers a buy, sell, and swap feature natively in the cold wallet app. Perez says, if Coinbase is an issue, where should one purchase Bitcoin? Can Coinbase be used to purchase and transfer to a cold wallet right away? Yes, you can do that. I'm just saying I don't personally use Coinbase as my preferred exchange. Yes, you can buy crypto on Coinbase. Yes, you can transfer crypto from Coinbase to your cold wallet. It's just not an exchange I will ever use again. Warner says, much love to all. How do we know that cold wallets don't have a backdoor? The best way to know is a lot of cold wallets have a lot of the important parts of the wallet open sourced, which means the code used to build the wallets and the software is transparent. So anyone who has the expertise or the knowledge to read code can go and verify that there's no backdoors. And then also, along with that, most cold wallets have security audits done by independent companies, and these auditors go through the code and verifies that there's no vulnerabilities or backdoors and reports that publicly. So that's how you know. Some red flags would be wallets that are 100% closed source, where no one can view their code. And one of the only wallets that I know of that's 100% closed source is Decent, which is why that's a wallet I would never recommend to anyone, because you're literally trusting the makers that there are no backdoors. But little do you know, they could have access to your keys and you wouldn't even have a clue. Samuel says, from your experience, can the IRS get to your cold wallet? The IRS couldn't access your crypto because they would need the keys to your crypto, but 100% the IRS can track all of your crypto transactions. Everything has a money trail. Crypto is transparent by design. The blockchain is a digital public ledger. So if you buy crypto on an exchange and then you send that crypto to your cold wallet, that is all tracked on the blockchain. There's a huge paper trail for that. Just because they can't access your crypto doesn't mean that they can't pursue you um, for certain things. So that's all that I'll say about that. I'm also not a tax advisor, not a tax professional. So maybe consider talking to one. Manuel says, thank you for all your videos. Just got a 3-pack with your link to set up with a seed phrase this time is a lifesaver. Awesome. Happy to hear that. Peace says, I would like to hear your opinion about Ledger Recover. It seems like we need extra money to have this service and give personal information register. Ledger Recover is an optional subscription-based service. Basically, for one, you don't need it. You don't have to subscribe to this. It's just it's something they offer. If you subscribe to it, what it does is, yes, you have to go through enter a bunch of personal information, and then you take selfies, and it's because they use your identity as part of the verification process. Because what Ledger Recover does is it offers you, if you lose your seed phrase, which is a key to all your crypto, they will recover that key for you on your behalf. So it's a key recovery service, which a lot of people use it. It's not something that I would ever personally use, but how they do this is once you go through all the personal steps, you have to sign an approval using your wallet. And then what happens is it splits your keys into 3 separate parts, double encrypts it, and then sends the 3 parts to 3 different entities around the world. That way, if you ever lose your key, you can use your Ledger Recover subscription to regain access to your crypto. Because if you lose your seed phrase and you don't have access to your wallet, you would lose access to your crypto. So this is a service they offer to avoid that. But by no means do you need to sign up for a Ledger Recover to use their wallet. You can just manage your own seed phrase, and you can do that safely. Tom says, I use BTCC for leverage trading and Uphold for limit orders. Am I at risk for the exchange to lock me out? Absolutely. Tom, any exchange has the ability to lock you out. It doesn't matter which one it is. It doesn't matter how reputable it is. Because exchanges own your crypto, because they control the keys that hold the crypto, they can do whatever they want. If they have a reason to believe that you're involved in anything suspicious, or even the crypto that you hold is involved in some kind of suspicious activity, they can absolutely freeze your funds. And in the US, they're actually required to, basically until they get cleared. But if you have your crypto secured by a cold wallet, then no one can freeze it. Sam says BitKey is good. Absolutely not. BitKey is not a wallet I'd ever recommend anyone use. You don't even have your seed phrase on BitKey. It uses some kind of like it splits your key into multiple pieces, and then you use different things like the app and the device and their cloud service to recover your key. Not a wallet I'll ever recommend. And I've seen a lot of influencers. BitKey looks like they partner with a bunch of influencers to push their wallet. Honestly, any YouTuber who's pushing like BitKey or even Decent, I question them, because that's not for me, that's not a wallet that I'd personally ever use, so I wouldn't ever recommend it to anyone else. I guess if those YouTubers feel safe and comfortable using those wallets, that's one thing, but yeah, not a wallet I'd ever recommend. Guys, if I skipped your question, I mean, it happens. I do skip certain questions and comments. I could have just honestly missed it, or I just didn't feel like answering it. So you can either try posting it once again. But yeah, I try to answer as many as I can, but some I just don't. And some people I block, so especially if they're going to show random stuff. Kish says, I heard Trezor is getting a new wallet. Any thoughts on that? Yeah, I don't have any information on that. I think they are coming out with a new wallet, but I'll definitely keep you posted once I have it. Uh, Tor says, safe to stack Solana on Tangem, to stake Solana on Tangem. So staking in Tangem, like it's safe, but there are risks to staking in general. So make sure you understand those risks before you stake crypto in general. Cody says on Tangent, what's the difference between using a default and a legacy address? The default is Segwit. It's the more efficient address option. So probably better fees, maybe a little quicker. Legacy is the old Bitcoin address. Generally, you want to use Segwit. That's why it's the default. Clavon says, what exchange would you use? I use Kraken. That's what I like using. Some people like Kraken, some people don't. Good afternoon, Scrilla. If I swap crypto in Tangem, it asks for permission to swap. Am I at risk for future transactions being made without my knowledge? No, swapping in the Tangem app is safe. And of course, you always have to approve transactions from wallets. But there's a difference between just approving a transaction and actually signing a spend approval that gives the contract future access to your account. Clavon says, is Merlin Crypto a good tracking app? I've honestly never heard of it. I would be hesitant to use it because I've never heard of that. If it's asking you to connect your wallet or sign any transactions, I would definitely be hesitant. But I'm not sure. I've never used it, so I don't have much to say about it. Den, I'm going back to this one. Axon on Ethereum network, but Tangem address not recognized by or supported by Tangem when marketing says it is. Well, let me just search and see what it says in the actual Tangem app. Oh, I spelled it wrong. So, Den Williams, Axler on Ethereum network, but Tangem address not recognized by or supported by Tangem when. I thought you said that Coinbase wasn't supporting it. So, Den, what network is the Axel on in Coinbase? Is it on Ethereum? If it's on Ethereum and you're trying to send it to your Tangent wallet, then you need to enable the ERC21 on your Tangent wallet. Here's the example. See, depending on what network your crypto is on Ethereum, these are the ones that you'll want to enable. For example, if what you hold on Coinbase, if the Axel you hold on Coinbase is on Ethereum, you would enable this one and copy this address. If it's enabled on BNB, enable BNB, right? So you want to enable whatever one it is. But it is true that Axel is supported on the Ethereum network on the Tangem app because it's right there. I can see it. Thank you, Cyberscroll. I just referred a few people to your channel because I learned a lot of beneficial information from you. I appreciate that. Also curious if you could just drop it in the chat real quick. Are there any topics you wanted to, like videos that you want me to make? Even if I've already made them before, I can make new and updated videos. Just drop the topics in the chat. Now, a lot of the times when people request me to make videos, they're usually super, super specific and it really only applies to them or like a few people. So I probably, just being honest, won't make those videos. But if it's a more general topic or something a lot of people have interest in, I will do my best to create a video on that topic. So just whatever you have, drop it in the chat. Joy says, how's the Bitbox 02 Nova? I haven't used the 02 Nova. I have the original Bitbox. It's just not a wallet that I think is like super user friendly. And even you can tell from the design of the O2 Nova, um, probably not going to be the most user friendly wallet. When it comes to choosing a cold wallet, like all cold wallets should be secure. We expect that from our wallets, but you should really look at usability next, right? Like, what wallet are you actually going to enjoy using? Some little tiny USB stick that has to be plugged into my computer, um, just not something I'm really interested in using. Why would I use that when I can use something like Ledger that has a larger screen that I could use with my phone if I want to, not plugged in, or something like Tangem that literally works with my phone? Um, it just doesn't. Yeah. P says, thanks for your detailed information. Is there any chance to be stolen for my crypto to be stolen while a hardware wallet is connected to the PC or iPhone to transact? No, that's why you want to use a cold wallet. Because even if it's connected to your PC and your PC is compromised, for example, the keys are still stored offline on the cold wallet device, and you can still approve your transactions using your cold wallet. Um, so yeah, it's not going to affect it. Now, I wouldn't recommend using a hardware wallet on an like knowingly on an infected device. Um, but in general, and the point of a cold wallet is for that to not affect your cold wallet. CJ says thoughts on Trezor, concerns about it. Trezor is one of my top wallets. I use my top wallets are um, Ledger. I've got the Trezor Safe 5, which is one of my favorite wallets. The Trezor Safe 3 is an awesome entry level wallet. And then obviously, Tangem. Again, if you're looking, if you haven't got your crypto secured by a cold wallet yet, you need to do it before 2026. Time is running out to secure your crypto because, again, like I said, I've been seeing countless Twitter threads of people's wallets being drained, and they've owned these wallets for 4 years, and then all of a sudden they're waking up and 400k, 600k of crypto is gone. And all these cases have really been because they were using hot wallets. This can also just be because they were downloading malware onto their device unknowingly. The way to avoid this is using a cold wallet. My two favorite and the most beginner-friendly cold wallets are linked in the description of this live stream, along with their user guides. Tangem Wallet is the most user-friendly if you're new to crypto. I've got a discount link in the description for this wallet along with the user guide. Or if you're a little more tech savvy and want a little more hands-on like device, then the Ledger Flex is the next best and user-friendly option. And you get $20 worth of free Bitcoin if you use a link in the description of that one. Joy says, I need the best in today's market for long-term Bitcoin storage. Already got 3 Tangems. Yeah, then it's hard to say what will be the best, 10 years from now. Nobody knows that. All the wallets on the market today, to be quite honest with you, could be obsolete in the next 10 years. We don't know. That's why it's important to stay on top of this stuff. That's why I, have this channel. So yeah. Dubai Babe says, Coinly asks you to connect your wallet. Is that safe? You can safely connect your wallet. You're not signing transactions. It's simply giving Coinly view-only access to your wallet. Also, you don't have to connect your wallet if you don't want to. You can just paste your wallet's receiving addresses. Just depending how many receiving addresses you have, that could take quite a while. Finney says, I would like to see a video of getting your crypto to your bank account without hassles. Do you need to let your bank know? I've already made that video. If you just type in on YouTube, how to cash out crypto to your bank, Finney, my video will pop up. And I've talked to banks and I've asked them that exact question. You don't need to let them know. If for some reason they don't accept your deposit from the exchange, nothing happens except the money won't leave the exchange. And then you would have to send a smaller amount. But yeah, again, links to the best cold wallets are in the description. I'll check in with you guys later. Stay safe. God bless and peace out.